ExecRank is out with its list of the top mid-cap CEOs. ExecRank CEO Jonathan Aspatore is with us to count down the best of the best. Welcome, Jonathan. First, tell me, what's the criteria for these rankings?
Well, thanks for having me today. The criteria is based on 24 different categories that our algorithm analyzes. The mid-cap CEOs, just to start with, it's leaders of companies with market caps of 2 billion to 10 billion. And the number one area of focus for this year was really CEOs' ability to increase profit margins and deliver high returns on equity of capital for their companies. It also looks at a number of other differentiating points, such as number of board positions, experience in their role as CEO and in the C-suite in general, industry professional reputation, along with status as founder or chairman of the company.
All right, well, you have a lot on the list. We're going to count down the top four. First, we're going to start with number 4, Nicholas Woodman. He's the CEO of GoPro. It's a rough year for that stock, but you say it's been a good year for Nicholas. Why is that?
Well, in general, the IPOs for technology companies are cooling off, but we think there's a lot to be excited about with Nicholas as CEO of GoPro. There's a lot of innovation there, and once again, the algorithm looks at a lot more just than stock gains and losses. We took a close look at the profitability of the company as a whole and the attributes that he has as CEO. The earnings per share were up 150%, and just the focus and positioning of GoPro not just being a camera company, but transitioning into a platform for something much more, and the work that's gone into doing that. So we see a lot of positioning happening that we think will pay a lot of gains in the future.
Next up is Gary Friedman. He's the CEO of Restoration Hardware. A third of the shares of that company are sold short, so the market does not like that company, but you like Gary. Why is that?
Well, we still think they have a really incredible brand in the space. And if you look at the earnings per share over the year, it was over 300%. He's been with the company a long time, since 2001. They've had their ups and downs being close to bankruptcy, but in terms of turning it around into a high-end brand in that area, there's been a lot of work to do there, and we think he's done it incredibly well.
All right, number 2 on your list is Sally Smith. She's the CEO of Buffalo Wild Wings. What's so special about Sally, aside from those fantastic wings she sells?
Well, that definitely is an important part, but unfortunately it's not a part of the algorithm. You know, a large part of it here is simply experience. She's been there since 1996. They've gone from about 70 locations to over 1,100 locations in her tenure. And they've maintained profitability throughout just astonishing growth period. She also brings the financial expertise of being a former CEO that we think is really important. And we think obviously that's played a key role in the ability to grow the number of locations that high over her tenure.
And then topping your list of mid-cap CEOs is John Stanley. He's the CEO of Rite Aid. So what did he do to deserve that top spot?
So John's done an incredible job and has an unbelievable pedigree across a whole number of positions at Rite Aid. He's been there since 1999, and he's had the role of Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Administrative Officer, and you know that multitude of roles has really helped him excel in bringing the company forward. The earnings per share over the last 5 years over 40%, which is incredible for a mature retailer. And with the potential acquisition looming from Walgreens, there's a lot of different variables that brings into play of being a CEO. And we think he's done just an incredible job in managing and all of it. And for those reasons, he took our top spot this year.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Jonathan.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, and thank you for watching The Street.